Hello everyone, and welcome back to Occult Perspectives. I hope you can hear me all right. As you can see, I'm in the car. I've done a couple videos in the car, but not too often. I was going to do a video in the woods today, but it's kind of right at that point. It's about 48 degrees outside, where the sun's like just warm enough to kind of make it warm if you're directly in the sunlight. But when you're back in the woods, it's really not warm enough. So, at least not to the point where I want it to be, where I can really get relaxed and meditate and maybe take my shoes off and do some grounding and such. I was wanting to do some work with archangels Uriel and Sandalphon, since those are the two archangels of the element of earth. So I just left from there. And as I did, somebody else showed up there anyway. It's a public park. Not that anybody would really go back there when I'm back there, but there was kind of this funny story once. I used to go back there and meditate religiously all the time. This little park, it's right in the middle of town, but not too many people know about it. But anyway, I used to, when I kept my magical journal and, kept my dream logs and was on top of all that stuff, I'd go back there pretty much every day, sometimes twice a day even. I lived about 12 minutes away from there, because it's actually in town, and I lived out at the lake, the private lake that we live at, which is about 12 minutes from town. So you just make the drive in, and I work about 2 minutes down the street from these woods. But anyway, that's where I just was. That's where I'm leaving from. But one day, I'd been there for years and meditated. And one time I was back there meditating in the snow. Yeah, it was pretty hardcore. And there was this guy that he had like some snowshoes on, and he walked right up to me, and I opened my eyes, and sure enough, there was somebody all dressed up and walking back there in the snow. And I just said, "Hey, what's up?" I think I may not have even said anything. I may have just, waved my hand, said hi. Another time, there was an instance where I was in the middle of performing the LBRP, and this couple, I had seen them near the entrance, but I didn't think they were actually going to go back there. They were like headed right towards me. I'm like right in the middle of, forming the circle. I think I'm on the Adonai pentagram. And then I just pretty much had to stop what I was doing. That's the only time, maybe there was one other time, I've ever been so interrupted that I could not finish the Lesser Banishing Ritual of the Pentagram on the spot. I literally, I had to stop what I was doing, put my things away. I think I probably had my athame at the time. Maybe I didn't. The ritual knife, that you can optionally use. Usually, a lot of the times I just use, the index and the middle finger. But I just kind of dropped them, and then, it was kind of like whistling, like not really whistling, but, just pretending like I wasn't really up to anything. I was just nonchalantly walking around. So ever since those two incidents, I've kind of had a little bit of nervousness. Sorry, I'm just checking a text message that a friend sent me, and I was able to actually read it all. Normally I'm not able to read them when they pop up like that. So yeah, I'm just a little weird about meditating back there like that often anymore. And part of the reason I didn't want to stay back there anyway is everything's kind of like, it's winter time right now anyway, so all the plants are dead, and there's not much life back there in the woods. All the trees are just, the leaves are gone. It's, it's February. So it's not going to be till like April, probably mid-April, almost May, I would say, until the trees really start blooming, and it's going to start looking like a forest again, instead of just a bunch of naked trees. So I know so many people in this town. This is one of my buddy's houses I just happen to be stopped in front of right now. I'm not sure if he's home though. I don't see his car. I see his old lady's truck. So yeah, I figured on my way back home I would just go ahead and do a video. I don't know what I'm going to cover yet, but I did want to, discuss something at least. And yeah, wanted to talk about future plans, since I didn't get to do the Archangel Uriel and Sandalphon, meditation back in the woods this time. I want to kind of work with the elements a little bit. I want to get out of the textbook stuff. I want to get out of the lore and start working with the raw elemental energies of these angels. I think it's a good idea. Bump the corner there. I think it's a good idea to work with, for archangels like Uriel and Sandalphon, that's the element of earth. So you should work in nature, and particularly in like forests, maybe even get some dirt. Donald Michael Craig talks a little bit about this, working, maybe grab some dirt. If you're in a secluded enough area, you can, take off your clothes and be naked in the earth element, just lie there on the ground, on the earth. Same with water, if you want to work with the energies of Gabriel, I would love to, go somewhere and find where there's a waterfall that's somewhat secluded, where there's not too many people around, where I could work with the element of water and more intimacy. I think the opportunity that most of us get would be like in a bath or a shower, to work with those energies. But I feel like that's really kind of tough, and it's not natural. Not as natural, When I do meditations, when you call forth the angels, that's another thing you can kind of do to give more to your performance of your LBRPs, is imagine, as you're envisioning Archangel Gabriel, feel the water, see the waterfalls, see all the different bodies of water, and you can just feel the water, covering you. The same with Michael. If you're ever anywhere where there's like a campfire, or there's a bonfire or something, this is a good opportunity, there with the element of fire, to work with Archangel Michael, call upon him, and, feel the heat of the fire, look into the fire. You might, if you empty your mind, meditate, just, allow your conscious mind to become empty so that the subconscious can pick up messages, it can pick up information about these entities. I think going into nature and just walking with nature is one of the best ways to work with magic in general. Because society is just so blind to the beauties and the blessings which are right in front of us. And I'm one of those people, I just feel like I could just wander in nature like all day long. I don't really need a whole bunch of commercial stuff to entertain me. I just would like to be able to travel the land and be, walk it, and just be more in tune with the whole earth in that way. It'd be nice to have some land where you could go out in the open, and nobody's around, it's, that nobody's going to be out there other than maybe people you invite onto the land, and, you could do ceremonies like the LBRP out in the open in a field with the sun shining down on you, with no obstacles, getting in the way or anything like that, an unobtrusive environment. The ability to be able to, to have the freedom and the privacy and the independence to do things like that, that's amazing power in and of itself. So yeah, working with the different elements, working with air, I'm not sure specifically how you would work with air the way you would the other elements. I'm sure Donald Michael Craig, he goes over each element, I'm pretty sure, in his book, and how to kind of initiate yourself into each of those. So yeah, that's all stuff I would like to experiment with in the future, start working with the raw energies rather than just trying to intellectually figure this stuff out, allow the spirit to come in and enter in, work with Mother Nature, and we're kind of doing this great work together with these greater powers. We're working on these things. We're definitely, it can be a step back. It can seem like a setback sometimes when we're trying to better ourselves, we feel like we're not where we were like a couple years ago. And it's exercises like the Lesser Banishing Ritual, the Pentagram, which can help us kind of get on our feet and get us, help us compartmentalize and organize our ideas and our relation to the world so that we can start from that foundation. You know, it helps build a foundation. And I've noticed I have a lot more conscious awareness of what I'm going to choose to do for the day if I do like an LBRP. If I don't do those prerequisite exercises, if I don't do a meditation at the beginning of the day, you know, the rest of my day gets it's like I get more just pulled into things rather than me being able to consciously choose. And then if I do meditation, it also allows me to be more calm in situations where maybe I'm not even completely in control. I've been observant, and you know, I observe, you know, it's like a scientific experiment. There's days that I do perform, you know, meditations or LBRPs before going into work, and then there are days that I do not. And I notice the differences between the days. I've kind of noticed where it's good to stop doing any exercises. You know, you stop doing the LBRP, you stop doing any kind of technical ritual for maybe, you know, a couple days or 3 days. It depends. Remember, we have to take it easy on ourselves, and we have to know where we're at right now in life. We have to know where our priorities are. For me, magic is not something that I'm attempting to be the greatest at. I'm not attempting to be like the master wizard or anything. But honestly, if we have the humility to work with Source, if we use these exercises to better ourselves and ground ourselves and just get us some sure footing, you know, it's one step at a time. You know, the idea is to kind of finish this work in one incarnation, but there's so much to experience. There's so much to be had. There's so much to know. This is one part of the journey. And I think if you've made it this far, if you've made it to this channel, and you're into this stuff, you understand these aspects, you understand these topics. You're a self-aware being. You're already so many steps ahead of the game. And now you just kind of choose how you want to spend your life, how you want to spend this time in this three-dimensional box. You know, that's something else that the LBRP on a microcosmic level helps you work with. It helps you condense your energies and organize them, and you know that you're in this protective sphere, this Merkaba, and from there you have more power to influence the world and make manifested change while being protected by the divine influences, while being protected by the 4 sacred God names, you know. So there's just trying to remind you of reasons why to do these things, to try, you know, even if it feels like you're not getting anywhere in life. For me personally, I don't have a lot of extra free time right now where it's just, you know, me alone. Today I just happen to have the whole day kind of to myself, and I just relaxed. I did some meditation, you know, I took it easy, and, you know, played a little bit of video games, went to the woods for just a little bit, was going to do this video there, like I said. But, you know, just taking a day to recharge. That's something else that they don't tell you in this society either. It's people just work, and is that really how you want to spend your time in the three-dimensional space that we're in? We're manifesting our reality within this temple, within the celestial temple, which is really the internal temple, and it externally manifests itself as we're moving through reality. We realize that we don't need to chase after all the things that everybody's chasing after. It's like, yeah, everybody they seem like they want more, they want bigger, they want better, but really in the end, they're just stuck at the same place they were, and our souls are really going through the same kinds of trials, whether we're a rich celebrity or just kind of a more normal guy like me. What is normal? What does it mean to be a star, a celebrity? Every man and woman is a star. And really, once you take that sovereignty into your own being, you don't need somebody externally to tell you, oh, you're great. You don't need the applause, the approval, maybe just of some close friends who you truly admire and respect. That's why as long as I have the admiration of people that I respect and love, if they can see me for who I truly am, and they respect my arts especially, and my music, and what I know about consciousness and the esoteric and the occult, if they can appreciate those qualities in me, and they see me for who I truly am, and as somebody that really attempts to shine forth in a different kind of way from the norm, then that makes me happy. That's enough. That's enough right there to show me that I made a difference, And I think a lot of people get caught up in the trappings of this world, and things like the LBRP and spiritual exercises, they allow us to ground and come into ourselves so that we're not all scattered out in the physical world. It's good to invest in things in the physical world, but we really need to be conscious of where we're making changes in this reality. And if we're going to build empires, if we're going to do things, if we're going to make big moves, is it really working to help manifest order it like in heaven on earth in a kind of a righteous way? We want it to be in a fully righteous way where people can learn and grow and the mysteries can be reinstated among mankind, and the gods and goddesses shall walk with us again, as they did in times of old. Is the kingdom we're building truly trying to do that? I see that a lot of the mysteries are being, the stories are being passed down through movies and video games and all these things. So there are still people out there doing the great work. And they know that they have to do it kind of within the system. We all have to kind of work within the system to some degree. Because we are here. We're in this is the space we talk about. I was just talking about this ground floor of this temple, which is also the celestial temple that you can connect to through rituals such as the LBRP. It's all within. All these angels, all these demons, all these beings, really, it's all within us. The entire cosmos is within us. All potentiality is within. There's more potentiality in a grain of sand than there are like stars in the universe. I just saw a post about that. There's more stars of the universe than there are grains of sand on the beach, but then there are, in 4 grains of sand, there's more energy than exists in all the stars of the universe. So it's that potential energy, it's that ein, the no thing. It's the spaces between the dark matter and the void, quote, void. It's not really nothing, it's all potentiality, which is not yet manifested. We've only seen everything that's been manifested, ever has and ever will be, is still even then just a part of the potential which can be manifested, which is the deity is outside and within, a part of all creation. And you have to wonder how far does this chain of consciousness go on? Where's the true source of it? We don't want to get caught up in too much lower or false light, demiurgic energy. Gigi Young on her YouTube channel, she talks a lot about the 8th sphere and getting caught in that lower astral. That's why when you do the Kabbalistic cross, you need to break through the lower realms. You ascend through the planets, and then you ascend through the lower and the higher astral realms into, past Netzach and Hod, into Tiphareth. That's where Christ consciousness is. You need to channel that, pull that in to the heart center, and you can envision Raphael with his armor of gold, the sun, the emblem of the sun upon the breastplate of the armor, and he holds a golden rod or a golden staff. Different from the Raphael of the LBRP, which carries the caduceus wand. So, yeah, really right now I'm just channeling. I'm not really like consciously channeling, but it seems to be that there's certain things I'm talking about in this video, and they're just coming to me. That's usually how it works nowadays. When you do this work long enough, you're so connected to Source, you understand that Source has your back so much that anyone who's consciously willing to make the connection, anyone who really is awake and wants to work with the universe is there, and it's going to present you with the opportunities. So long as you align your energies correctly, you will manifest the things that are correct for you in your life. Anything can be manifested. They say that what you are seeking for, or what you seek, is seeking you. So remember that. it's good to know that it's good to know that you didn't live this life. You didn't live this life without making effort, without trying to love your hardest. You know, it's the greatest people. The greatest people are the ones who pour their hearts out, even if they end up getting hurt in the end somehow. The greatest ones are the ones who pour their hearts out as a sacrifice upon the altar, you know, of true divine love. We just hit 2033, or no, I'm sorry, that was 2023. Now it's 2033. So this has been going on for 20 minutes. I don't know how much more I'm going to have to talk about in this drive. Might do a little bit of singing as well before I get back home, so I might end this video real soon. But yeah, just as a final thing, you know, it's sometimes this life, it feels like a sacrifice, and maybe it is. Maybe we came here as a sacrifice, and we knew that we would suffer, even if we knew that we would suffer a little bit coming to this realm, but we still did it. We did it out of love because we knew that there were people here in this physical world that needed our help. We came here to make a change. We know that our spiritual essence is pure where we come from. It's that infinite awareness. How can we not have that as our home? It's our eternal abode. It's already within. It's within the hearts in each and every one of us. And if we can channel that, if we can come together in this ecstasy, this spiritual unity, this bliss, you know, it's, the world's so distracted, the world's so lost, but know that your work is not in vain. Know that you are a soldier of the great work. You are, you're here to show people what love is. Maybe somebody didn't even know what love really was until you stepped into the picture. Even if that person's not in your life anymore, even if that person only knew you for a month or two, maybe you change that person's life so much that that domino effect just goes on, and it continues to, it's the ripple effect. You know, if you've ever listened to Ripple, it's Ripple or Ripples by Grateful Dead. That's a beautiful song. If I could take you home, I would show you the way. I sure would. And really, that's what we're here to do, is walk each other hand in hand back home, back to source. It can already be the eternal party here. We could be having a grand old time, and what we think of as party, as a good time here on earth, it's been so, you know, miscued. It's been so profane. To be among sisters and brothers, for each sister and brother to have their significant other. If we understand those boundaries and we respect one another as equals and meet upon the cosmic level, we can come together and make this work. I'm sure of it. And, you know, I see more and more people waking up. So I think things are definitely looking up. Just keep on doing the great work. If you get down in the dumps, just remember that your soul's eternal. Your soul's eternal. And think of yourself at that point when you can't carry on anymore. Just think that you are here for someone. You are here for something. You are doing a service for the Almighty Divine, for Source. The gifts that we've been bestowed in this life, we should be grateful for every single one. Every single gift, even the hardships, even the things that have tore us down, have made us stronger, have shown us more who we really are. Now we know more who we are and what we want. And we're spiritually growing, we're rising, we're ascending. We are the phoenix. We're not just the physical phoenix rising from the ashes, but now we are the celestial phoenix, which rises from the plane of the physical itself, becomes one with the spiritual, and these worlds become linked together. Kether and Malkut are one. Malkut and the Ayin, all potentiality. It exists within. What will you manifest with your life? What will be the grand temple, the celestial temple of the new world for you. What are we going to build? It's going to be awesome, my friends. Just wait. Just wait. This goes so much beyond us, but yet it encompasses us, and our energies are giving important manifestations to this grand plan. We are the keys. We are the cornerstones of this foundational temple, which is going to be, it's going to be awesome. It's going to be an ecstasy like we've never known before, but it's really a remembering. And I can feel it in my soul even as I'm talking about it. It's this old energy, but it's never gone away. We've always been with it, but we've only simply forgotten this beauty, this grandiose, this transcendent splendor. Feel it in your hearts and souls, my sisters and brothers. You're meant to be here. You are loved. You are appreciated. Let's spread that love and appreciation. Let's show the world what it can be. The peace, love, and tranquility that we create in our homes, energetically, vibrationally. Let's teach others to carry that peace and tranquility with themselves so that the whole world gets transmuted by this means. There's no book out there. There's no external stimulation in the end that's going to give you, it's going to entertain you. We can be the light, and then we can really, really use the tools of the world, as we need to. Once things are so bright within ourselves, we'll realize that we don't need all the external distractions. We just need love in our hearts. We can come together, we can manifest this under the auspices of natural law, the divine masculine and the divine feminine truly being wed together. This is great alchemy. This is the great work. This is the purification of ourselves. It's also the manifesting and the crystallization of what we want, this heaven on earth. It doesn't just have to be a fantasy. It doesn't just have to be a concept or an idea in our mind. We can give it concrete form here in the physical world. We can live the fantasy and realize that the fantasy, the thing that we've been able to make believe or imagine this whole time, it was always within us. All of it was always inside of us. Any concept of God that you've ever had, any divine beauty that you've ever speculated upon was already there. Now we just need to bring the pieces together and build this grand temple. I've rambled on long enough. I'm getting pretty close to getting back home. So thank you, each and every one of you, for being a subscriber on this channel. For like-minded people, spread the word, spread the love, spread the peace. Let's really do this thing. Let's just be that divine spark that we wish to see in the world. Know that the ecstasy, the divine beauty and bliss, let's accept that today. The spiritual path is a hard one. Accept peace into your heart. Forgive yourself of mistakes. Today we start fresh. This is infinity right now. And if we want to change where we are right now in any way, shape, or form, we can just degree by degree use the divine instruments of morality, use the divine instruments that the great architect of all things has given us, and make the change. Peace and love be with you all. Please like, please subscribe. May peace, love, and harmony come unto all, and may harm come unto none. Peace, love, and tranquility prevail. All of these things, all of these blessings bestowed upon us by the great Creator of all, from which all manifestation flows, to that which is beyond all duality, our eternal parent, who waits for us, who watches over us, who is our own highest self, we give praise and thanks unto thee. Amen. So mote it be. Thank you everyone for watching, and have a blessed day.